So guys, now coming to the soil media or preparing the soil mix, I use the basic soil mix. Now these three ingredients are very important for your plant, that is coco peat. Now I am taking 3 parts of coco peat, 2 parts of garden soil and 1 part of sand. Now you can take any sand. I am taking the grey construction sand because I don't have the brown sand available. You can even use river sand as well. So you can use, now these are the 3 most important ingredients while you are growing any kind of foliage plants. The coco peat will retain the moisture. The regular garden soil is something that has its natural nutrients and it tends to retain the nutrients and it tends to retain water. And the sand is going to help us drain the water. Basically it's going to make the soil mix loose and porous and well draining, because the coco peat is going to retain moisture. The soil, regular garden soil, is also going to retain moisture, and then we need something that can drain off the water fast, because at times the garden soil can get very compact. We do not want our soil to get compact. That's why we tend to use this sand. Now you can see the sand is large granulated. You have to use something that is a large granulated soil. Now there is another thing that you can also add, and that is perlite. Now guys, I'm keeping perlite as optional because it's not extremely important that you have to use perlite, because we are already using sand. Sand is going to make the soil loose and porous. Let's say that you have a very fine sand, then you can use 1 part of perlite. Now perlite is optional. If you don't find perlite, it's absolutely fine, but you need to have the rest of those 3 ingredients, which are the most important part. Perlite is optional. If you have, you can add it. If you don't have, it's absolutely fine. Now the ratio of coco peat also depends upon your environment. If you are from a very dry environment, you can increase the amount of coco peat. If you are from a very humid environment, then you'll have to reduce the amount of coco peat. It completely depends upon your environment. Now this mix that I have made is for a 5-inch pot. It is going to be more for the 5-inch pot, but right now I'm just using it as per a 5-inch pot. Depending upon how big the pot is, you can increase the proportion, but right now I'm using is 3 parts of coco peat, 2 parts of garden soil, 1 part of sand and 1 part of perlite. Now in addition, you can also add, if you want, you can also add some activated charcoal. Now guys, activated charcoal is very different from a regular charcoal. A lot of people tend to use charcoal, the barbecue charcoal or the regular charcoal. Now there is a slight difference between the activated charcoal and regular charcoal. When you're using it for the plants, only use activated charcoal. Again guys, if you don't have activated charcoal, it's absolutely fine. That's why I'm not adding it in this soil mix, because a lot of people will not have activated charcoal. It's slightly expensive. So if you don't have activated charcoal, it's absolutely fine. That's why I'm not adding it in the soil mix, because a lot of you guys won't have it. But always remember, activated charcoal and regular charcoal, there is a lot of difference. Now the activated charcoal is especially made for horticulture. It's especially made for terrariums, for aquarium filtration, for plants, because activated charcoal tends to remove the impurities from the soil. At times you might get some foul smell from the soil. If you use activated charcoal, there won't be any foul smell. But again, it completely depends. It's not that you have to add. If you have it, you can add it. If you don't, it's absolutely fine. So in this mix, I won't be adding the activated charcoal, because a lot of you guys don't have it. So this is how my final mix tends to look like. So now all I have to do is just mix it and then add it into the pot. So I'm going to quickly mix all of the ingredients. So now our soil mix is ready, which we will be using it for our seedling. Now if you might have noticed, I haven't added any fertilizers in this. There is no cow dung, there is no compost, because I prefer to use only liquid fertilizer. Also, the seedling is very small now. Adding of fertilizers might burn the seedling, so ensure that you do not use any fertilizers at this point of time. You can do it later on. I will definitely show you how to add fertilizers on the later part. Right now we just need to make a basic soil mix. Now the garden soil that we have already has some natural nutrients that is going to be enough for the seedling to grow, and as and when the seedling is going to grow a little bit more bigger, that is when we are going to add the fertilizers. But as of now, it's just the basic soil mix. Now I will be using a green net cloth. This is to cover the drain hole, because we do not want any of the soil to fall out when we tend to water it. So we are going to cover the drain hole completely, and now it's time to add the soil into the pot. So this is a 5-inch pot and we are completely filled it with our soil mix. So now it's time to get our seedling, and we are going to put the seedling in this pot. So now our pot is ready. So now it's time to take out our sunflower, and this is how the seeds look like. Looks like it has already dropped the seed pod, so we will take it out very carefully and gently. So this is our sunflower, and you can see this is the root. Now we are first going to make a small little dent in the soil, not too deep, just a little bit, and then just add it into the soil. That's about it. And we are done planting our first sunflower seedling. Now do not flush water a lot on it, just mist the water on the topsoil, because if you're going to put water too much, the plant will move, because right now it does not have the roots to anchor itself. So we just want to mist a little bit. You can even do bottom watering by putting water and then keeping the pot in the water, which will encourage the roots to grow faster. Or you can just do this. You can just mist it nicely so that the soil is completely wet. And you have to not let the soil dry. It has to be slightly moist but not soggy wet, otherwise the seedling will get rotted. So you have to ensure that you're misting it every other day, or you are let's say that if you have a container like this, put the pot in the container, fill the lower container with water, and you can do bottom watering. But don't let the soil dry out completely, otherwise it will the seedling will get dried. So now this pot has to be kept in indirect bright light. Do not expose it to direct sunlight, otherwise the seedling will get damaged. The seedling might get burnt. So it has to be kept in indirect bright light for at least 8 to 9 hours. Do not even give morning direct sunlight for the seedling right now. It has to reach another couple of inches and then you can give it morning direct sunlight. But right now it has to only be kept in indirect bright light. Now as and when this will grow, I will definitely keep you guys updated. Today is the 8th of August when the seedling has been potted. So once it grows, probably 1 inches or 2 inches, I will then show you once again. So this is how it looks on the 8th of August. So this is the sunflower mini on the 14th of August. I also added the second seed as well, and the first seed has grown quite a good in size. So this is on 14th of August. So guys, finally the sunflower is over here. Now I don't know, it doesn't even look like a sunflower, probably because it's in its bad condition, because the weather was very bad over here, and I think it also has some fungal infection because the leaves have some kind of fungal infection. There was a lot of mealybugs. I got rid of the mealybugs, but this is how it looks so far. Now I didn't expect it's going to bloom because the conditions were so bad. It was raining so much, the climate was so bad, and it also got infected with some fungal attack. But nevertheless, it has bloomed. Now I'm not very sure, it doesn't look a lot like a sunflower. Just with the label I was able to identify that it's a sunflower, because I remember I put the seeds in this, and you might have seen the entire journey. Now how long it took from the time the seeds germinated to this part, I will put the date on the screen, because I'll have to go ahead and check the archived videos, because I'm not very sure when I had put the seeds. I think it was most probably in the month of August, and now it is October. So I will put up the dates, exact dates when it was all done, because I had documented everything on a piece of paper. So you can see there are some ants as well. There was a lot of infestation of bugs. I somehow managed to get rid of it with the help of some hand sanitizer and a little bit of spraying of garlic and vinegar spray, a very little bit of misting. So a lot of the mealybugs are gone off, but there were a lot of them in and around this area, but now it's cleared up. So now the sunflower I don't know if I can call it a sunflower also, because it looks very different. It looks more like a cosmos, a yellow cosmos. It looks more like that, but I think eventually it is going to open up a little bit more, because it's still closed. All of the petals are not opened yet, so probably in a few days time it is going to open up a little bit more, and then we'll get a much clearer idea. As of now, I've kept it in morning direct sunlight, because sunflower, the name sunflower itself says that it requires a good amount of sun, so I've kept it in sun. So I will give you an update after a couple of days when it completely opens up. I think it still has to open up, it's not completely bloomed. So guys, I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.